Press record. Okay, let's do this again. Right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, dear listeners. This is a special episode of the Devon Dice Podcast, recorded on the 24th of September 2023. In this podcast, we will be talking about everything Essen and games we would be looking forward to. If they were going, I'm going. They're not, I'm going. So everything we're going to be looking for if we were going.
Or the things we're telling him to go and buy when he goes.
Yep.
While you're there.
Right. Yeah, that's it. I'm Joel Wright, host of this podcast, and joining me on this special podcast is Nick Shaw, the podcast resident board game designer and link master. I didn't know whether that was or not.
Hello, folks. It's going well.
It is already. We've already done one podcast tonight, so this is going to be a bit kind of Twilight-y effect going on. And then also we got Sam, the link. No, he's not the link master. He's the master of the Clank universe and the IT guy.
Hello, folks. Hello.
Yeah. So we've already recorded one podcast, and it's quite late, and then we're doing another podcast. So do excuse the delirium going on. This podcast is basically we're going to be looking at the Essen Spiel geek list on Board Game Geek, picking out games that we would like to check out if we were going. I'm going, like I've already said. Games possibly that we'll come back with. So, yes, this is going to be fun. I hope.
Yeah.
And
yep.
So yes, my list keeps changing every minute at this rate, but I'm going to try and stick with it. What is he doing? Nick is playing around with the file. He's not happy about something.
Get rid of
He's tidying it up.
There we go. That looks prettier now. I don't quite know what that word line up is. We'll sort it out. Keep talking and I'll fix this.
So I think I've picked all games that I can pick up. The others I've put on games that they've that are demos as well. There is a couple of demos that I'm going to definitely check out. And like I said in the last podcast, Theme Park Mania is one of them. Because that's now on Kickstarter. And will hopefully still be on Kickstarter when I'm in Essen and actually played it. The game, I was trying to look for it a minute ago. I backed on Kickstarter that we talked about last year's Essen listing. I can't think what it's called now. Excuse me a minute.
We're nothing if not prepared on this podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I'm quite literally doing mine right before we recorded.
A few moments later.
That's nice. Oh, new one. Just give me my games.
Oh, come on!
Good thing it's recorded. There it is. Axiom Protocol. So, yeah. That was on my list last year. It went on Kickstarter. I backed it. And so it's now being demoed at this year's Essen. So I will be popping on and checking.
You can see how disappointed you will be when you get it.
That's going to be the thing, isn't it? It's like, sugar, I backed this. Can I get a refund? So, but I might be happy with it. So we'll have to see.
Indeed.
Can't see any others jumping out at me. Oh, I missed that one. Oh my goodness, there's so many I keep missing. Anyway, right. I might have to do another list on the website.
Do a post list.
Yeah, I might have to because I've got so many here. It's just ridiculous. Starting at number 10. Yes, guys, we're doing 10. My number 10, mentioned in the last podcast that we've been playing at Board Game Arena. As soon as I started playing it, I loved it, and that's can't speak. Forest Shuffle.
That's it. You got it.
I think it is one of those that combination of words could lead to some unfortunate word combinations if you get it. That kind of the syllable swapping kind of could lead to some unfortunate pronunciations.
Yeah, I nearly said Shuffle Forest, but it's not. It's Forest Shuffle. So yeah, we've been playing this on Board Game Arena. We're actually now on our second game. I've actually done a couple of games with other sides. It's really great. It's just a card game, but it's this tableau kind of building game where you're putting trees down and you're putting animals into these like on the sides or on the top or below the trees. Because it's multi-use cards. Oh, it's great. It's just lovely.
And they all score different ranges, different ways, and some give bonuses at certain things. Yeah, it's very, very clever. And so simple as well.
It is simple. I was surprised how long it went on for, because I was like thinking, it's going to end soon. It's going to end soon. And I was like, how does this end? So then I went to the rules and like, wow, that's going to be a long time.
It's the whole deck.
Yeah.
It's when the third winter card comes out, which is somewhere near the bottom of the deck. So
it's in the last third of the deck or something. They put 3 winter cards in.
Interestingly, it doesn't scale that for player count. You still have all 300 cards, even in 2-player. And you just get much higher scores.
Yeah, definitely.
But still fun at 2-player as well.
And the artwork's lovely. Talking of artwork from the last podcast. So yeah, this is definitely. I'm definitely going to run over and pick up a copy of this when I get there. So yeah,
cool, absolutely. So my number 10 is Stich für Stich, which is Stitch for Stitch in English. This is a deduction trick-taking game, which sounded fascinating when I saw it come up. You have a number of characters who you are trying to determine, kind of like Cluedo style. You're trying to determine which character committed the crime with which murder weapon, and everyone has some bits of information, and you're playing a trick-taking game to determine. There's one person knows all the information, and everyone else is trying. That's what it is. Everyone else is trying to deduce it, and they're doing that by they play tricks not knowing what the trump is going to be, and there are 3 trumps. One is the person on the card, one is the word or weapon, and one is a combination of both of those. If you get both of them on the same card, it's like the super trump. And so everyone plays a card of the trick, and then I forgot what they call the name of the person. The person who committed the crime is going to say whether or not who's won that trick based on whether anyone played a trump. And so you're trying to reverse engineer when you played it why you won or didn't win the trick based on what was there. It just sounds fascinating to me. I love that kind of reverse deduction, and with a trick-taking game as well. It sounds great fun. This one does. So yeah, this is a Stich für Stich by Zock Verlag.
Excellent. Hadn't seen that one in the list, so that's cool.
I think I passed over it because it's got a weird name, and then I was just like, I'm not going to try and pronounce that.
Can't pronounce that. See, I told you, Nick. We should have left. My number 2.
Before he looked at it. And we'll get Joel to pronounce Sam's number 2 later on.
Yeah. Okay. Go to Google Translate now.
Yeah. So my number 10 is Emerge, which is coming from Pandasaurus. And this is quite a nice looking, fun kind of thing where you are. It's like a dice rolling, resource gathering kind of resource management kind of thing, but the board is like this kind of like an archipelago-y kind of lagoon-y kind of thing, and you're going to start building. As the game progresses, the islands start emerging out of the ocean in sort of 3D. So you're sort of laying tiles on top of each other, and then animals and plants kind of start growing on those on the islands.
That looks fun. That looks really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks really, really pretty and just nice. It's got like a really nice table presence, and the pieces all look really nice. The artwork's really nice. But I don't know a great deal about the gameplay of it at this moment in time. But it just looks like my kind of game, where you sort of roll dice, work out what you can do with those dice to sort of benefit you at that point and build up towards your victory points already. But yeah, just looks very striking, but in that sort of medium light kind of strategy kind of game type way. Yeah. So seems really ideal to me. Plus, it's got some really fabulous little pieces, little the just looking at a picture now, and it's got like little crab meeples and seal meeples and stuff. So it should have really good table presence. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, and that's coming from Pandasaurus Games. That one.
Yeah. And it's the designer that's never done. He's not got another credit on another game, so it's a first-time designer as well, which I just find really interesting.
Indeed.
Yeah, there's been some people banging on about this, so I will pop along and put this on my list to check out now and then there. My number 9 appears elsewhere on someone else's list higher up, but I just added another one in here. Toucan Builders. So Toucan. Oh, what's the first one? So this is a second edition or second one of the game. So Toucan Kana was like a roll and write before, and people were saying this is really good. This one, again, people have been banging about on other Essen lists that they've been doing and say you need to go and check this out. So this one, I think this one is tile laying on this.
Yep.
So the link is not working that I put. Pretty. But so yeah, I will go along and pick that one. I will not pick it up. Check it out. So
yep.
Yeah, it looks quite
nice.
Cool.
Very pretty.
Kind of makes me think of the tile sort of a couple of the images make me think of is it Eruption? Is that the game? Like the road tiles and stuff look like the lava tiles a little bit in Eruption.
Oh yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Obviously nothing at all to do with it, but it's what it instantly made me think of in terms of the tile placement. So I'll be interested to see how that works.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, look forward to that.
Does it cool?
My number 9 is a game called Shadow Blades. Now this is a retheming of a slightly older game called Spynet by Richard Garfield. And I have a copy of Spynet. Spynet is a really nice little card game, which works best as a team game of 2v2, where you're playing as secret agents trying to effectively you're playing cards with higher powers to control different areas of espionage and trying to complete missions that you're playing, and you can pass each other cards at certain times, and you're just trying to get dominance on each of these 4 branches, which are effectively the 4 suits of cards. And they rethemed this. So the original one was, as I said, espionage and spies, and this one is Shadow Blades. Effectively, it's the same thematic background, but looks like it's based in more kind of Japanese samurai style artwork. So I look forward to seeing more about this because it is a great game. It kind of went very much under the radar at the time. It was overshadowed by a lot of other games at the time. But I think it's a really lovely little game. Plays in about 45 minutes, and it works with 2 and 3 players as well. You're just playing all 1v1, but the team game I think is where it shines. There's 4 players.
Nice that it's a game that's got that option to sort of chop and change the way it plays. It's always quite nice. Yeah. So it's a good one. Nice. My number 9 is one that I saw on the Dice Towers preview, and I hadn't noticed it when I looked through it myself. But it is called Cheops, and the reason it stood out to me is because it looks like a souped-up super gamer version of what's the Phil Walker Harding Imhotep.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of got the same. There's one picture in particular that made me think of. You've got these boats with materials on that are coming into a dock, and you're building a pyramid. So basically, players are vying for being the most influential builder of the Great Pyramid of Cheops in Egypt. And essentially, it's a variable worker placement and tile placement game. So it's kind of like a proper Euro-y game. But set in a proper Egyptian theme, which I thought actually is quite an interesting combo. You don't really get that too much. If it's Egypt, it's going to be crazy miniature gods and whatnot, and area control and stuff. And this is more of not an engine necessarily, a building, I don't think, but it's kind of got that resource management, worker placement aspect to it. Yeah, much more my kind of thing. But in a setting that's quite unique for that kind of game. So yeah, I'm quite excited, and it's got one of the pictures, if you look at it, is kind of got this. You can see this kind of you're building an actual 3D pyramid on the board, while you're also building a town with different worker spots around it. So it kind of like Lords of Waterdeep style, when you're kind of building different. You kind of get new spots that you can put your workers into. It's got the same sort of thing where you're kind of building up a town of places where you can go and get resources or trade or convert stuff. And if it's your building and someone else can use your building, but you get a kickback because it's your building and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of got this neat little kind of give and take worker placement mechanic, and I always like those kind of games where you've got, say, 2 or 3 different types of workers, and they can all do the same things, but they do things better in other places and that kind of stuff. I quite like that kind of mechanic. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I'd like to see more about it.
I just noticed that in the info that it integrates with a previous game from the same designer called Corduba 27 AC, which appears to be very similar but set in the Roman Julius Caesar type era. 45.
That sounds like a nonsense thing. Don't ever do that. That sounds like
I don't know how you could possibly mix those two because they're completely different times periods.
Yeah.
But it says it integrates with it, so I don't know what that means. That sounds quite exciting, though.
I would suggest that's probably a bad idea to do, but at the same time, it's again nice that you have the option.
Indeed, yeah, I like that. That looks nice.
Yeah, but it's a very striking looking thing. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what it's like. It looks like it's almost self-published. So the people that are publishing it. They seem to have only really published like licensed stuff, so they're responsible for like publishing the Spanish versions of lots of things. They don't necessarily publish much of their own, apart from maybe this designer who's only got one other credit, which is that Corduba 27 AC thing. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the quality of it's like. So yeah, but yeah, no, just struck me as an interesting theme, interesting style of game. So yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I've added it to my list. I ignored it, but now I've added it. So
here we go.
Yeah.
Well, you were there for at least 4 days, Joel. So you got to have plenty of stuff on your list.
Yeah, my list is getting longer. I don't think this is going to help either. Nucleum is my number 8. So this is getting a lot of buzz. It's been getting a lot of buzz since UK Games Expo. I'm pretty sure they've been touting this. This is Board and Dice. It's funny because you wouldn't have thought it was a Board and Dice game because it's quite big. It looks quite colourful, and my internet is still slow. And yeah, it looks very heavy. It also looks like it's a very mashup of a lot of games put together. So like you look at some of the images, it looks like you've got Ticket to Ride going on, you've got Brass going on. I think it's got hand management like Concordia. I might be wrong with that. I might be thinking of a different game, but it does say it in the mechanisms. Income,
it looks like it's a
market.
mashup of kind of Brass and Barrage, that kind of style.
That's it.
That's what most people are saying. You do like little network building with very cleverly. They got little action tiles on the roads that you build that you can use. But then when you want to actually build them, then you lose the effect, but you gain kind of the road network to then actually start using that network. And the whole idea is you're trying to build these nuclear stations in the alternate steampunk history. Looks really, really pretty.
Yeah. Sure.
As you say, it's not a classic Board and Dice kind of thing. It's because it's not set in ancient times. It's
so one of the designers, because the other designer is your mate, Nick.
Nick Turchi. Yes, the other one is Simone Luciani, who is known for.
He did do Barrage, Darwin's
Solkin
Journey,
was famous.
Solkin. So yeah, he's got quite.
He's a heavy Euro specialist.
He is.
Yep. And this is a heavy one. This is over 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, Gollum. I enjoyed Gollum, but yeah, that was a heavy setup. That was. So so Nukem. I'm gonna check this out, and see how it goes for there, because Definitely looks fun, but also heavy.
Yeah. I think it'd be really, really, really crunchy. Crunchy, fun puzzle. So my number 8, we on number 8 already? Yep, number 8 is Kelp. And this one struck me. I heard this being mentioned on a podcast at some point. I can't remember which one it was. But this is a 2-player head-to-head battle of wits between an octopus and a shark. And both players are completely asymmetric play, where you are playing the octopus and the shark. The octopus has to sneak around the board, trying to stay hidden. Occasionally has to reveal himself to do things, but he's trying to stay hidden, and the shark is trying to find him. And it's this really quite bizarrely clever back and forth kind of cat and mouse chase. And I'm absolutely fascinated by it. There's not really not a huge amount of information about it. There's kind of a playthrough by the designer on Board Game Geek. But I love the idea of this 2-player head-to-head with one player being an octopus who's trying to escape a shark and the other player being the shark trying to attack them. It just sounds great. Yeah, good fun.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. Quite pretty as well. Quite nice looking.
Yep. It's got some nice pieces. Little miniature shark figurine.
Yeah, bizarre.
Bizarre.
I've kind of ignored everything that was 2-player only.
It's not the kind of
that's just not my kind of game.
It's not the game that I would usually have either. But I love the theme of the mechanics. Sounded
good. Really interesting. Yeah. Like that. That sounds really interesting.
Cool.
My number 8 is another one that I got from the Dice Tower stuff. Another one that I completely ignored because it was almost like a Joel level thing of I don't know what that word means, so I'm ignoring it. It's called Amritsar, the Golden Temple, and it's an Indian themed game of helping to build, I think, the Golden Temple for the Maharaja, essentially. But it's the thing that attracted to me was when they said it's built around the Mancala mechanic, and I really like the Mancala mechanic. And this one's just got an incredible looking artwork and table presence. Each player's got their own little elephant that goes around the board, and you've got your own workers that go around the board. And the idea is you're trying to make sure that when you take your movement action, when you're moving your workers around, you want to try and end your Mancala movement on the same spot as where your elephant is, so that you can kind of like combo up your actions. So you can take, wherever you end up, you can take 1, 2, or 3 actions depending on what's available in that space that you end on. And if it happens to be where the elephant is, you can do more stuff, basically. And that's kind of as far as I read into it. But I like Mancala mechanic, and I like a pretty game. And this one's got cool, funky 3D elephants carrying stuff around a board. What's not to like about that? So yeah, I'm already interested.
Yeah, it looks good.
Nick, reminds me of the game Yak a little bit.
Oh yeah, very very much a different type of game.
Definitely.
But yes, that
was hilarious.
Shaped wooden pieces.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
Whereas I saw the elephant and reminded me of Formula E.
Yeah. Definitely. So we're on to number 7s. My number 7 actually is newest onto the list. I actually threw it out until I listened to the Dice Tower and Rado Run Through's podcast and several others, and they all put this on their list as you need to go and check this out. It's Among Cultists, a social deduction thriller. Now that's why I chucked it out first. I don't really like social deduction. I think I put that as one of my worst mechanics ever. But they're selling it to me because it's basically Among Us, the video game, but in board game version.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember hearing about this now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, you might have me intrigued. And it is one of those, there's a place, I think it's in a house kind of thing. And you're moving around the house and putting cards down in places, pretending to do work, and then someone's there trying to kill everyone off, and then you've got to figure out who the killer is. So it is basically Among Us, the video game. And if you haven't played that, where have you been? Pretty much everyone was playing it throughout lockdown, I believe. So yeah, it's a shame why Lewis ain't here, because we were playing Among Us with his cousins and that, and it was hilarious.
The thing that puts me off is the thing I just put in our Discord so you guys can see it, but it feels like it's a homebrew project because you can look at the people smiling away.
Yeah,
they don't look like cultists. They look like university students that have just kind of. I don't know what they're doing.
For money.
It's very bizarre.
Yeah, that's totally out of the thematic feel of it.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I suppose the guy on the left is the second to left.
Especially when you look at the box cover and you can see the 3 on the box cover. What the hell?
Well, I think that's image probably from the Kickstarter. So this is like the people behind it, probably.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's just very bizarre.
And I think there's also different modes to this, where it's got the One Night Werewolf kind of app thing going on as well, which is also voiced by a well-known content creator.
Oh yeah, I can see there's a thing on here with there's a shush screen which looks like it might be on an app or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
interesting.
So, yeah.
I'll be interested to see if they can emulate the Among Us kind of mechanics. It'd be quite interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably gives that same vibe, whether it's trying to do the same mechanics or not. But if it's trying to get the same vibe, give you the same feeling, it'd be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take a walk over to the stand and check it out when we're there, and see whether it's a me game or I'm just going to walk away. So, but yeah,
cool.
Among Cultists, that was.
Among Cultists, a social deduction thriller. Yeah. My number 7 is higher up on someone else's list, so we can talk about that when we get to that bit.
You'll be waiting a while. My
no spoilers or anything.
Yeah, my number 7 is one that I'm going to ask Joel to pick up for me, actually, because I'm not entirely sure I'll be able to get it very easily here. And it is called Kabanga from Amigo, and it's one of those up to 6-player card games that Amigo specialise in, and it's one that's that kind of card shedding, trick taking, that 6-nib-dish kind of style stuff is really popular in our group generally, not just with in several of our groups, and it's just one of those really nice end of night kind of filler card game type things that you can play with a bunch of people. Not much to say about this one.
It's going to cost you €9, Sam.
Yeah, exactly. Nine whole euros. So yeah, I'm going to set myself a budget, and then Joel can spend that budget on the stuff that I've told him to go buy. One of which isn't actually on my list, because it's a 2016 game. But I think you were going to get it anyway. Nakozu Dice. We'll come back to that. But Kabango is the one that kind of stood out to me as like that typical Amigo small box card game, which I like having those. And this one's a new one, so I want it. It's a card shedding game. Get rid of your hand. First player, don't be the player that's got cards left at the end, kind of thing. So yeah, not much else to say about it, really.
Yeah,
but
looks cute.
Yeah, for €9, I'm not going to say no if Joel's willing to go and get it for me.
Yes,
yeah, I'll be your mule.
I promise all the stuff I want is small.
Yeah. Dear. Sorry, I was just looking at something else. Where are we? Right. I don't know if I'm going to change this, because I believe this game has already been released. Because I just went on
get it already, can't you?
Yeah, I just went on Meeple's Core and it says sold out. And then I went on Amazon and I can get it from Amazon. So it was freelance as a Crossroads game. I absolutely love Freelance's Crossroads game. I love Crossroad games. We're actually playing Gen 7 at the minute.
How are you finding Gen 7, just quickly?
Really like it, except for the rules are shit.
Yeah,
the rules are horrendous.
I think that's why it wasn't popular, wasn't it? I think it didn't get any success because of that, and it sounded like that.
If a game needs reprinting and redoing again, this one could do so much better.
Yeah.
But We discovered it. We're 2 games in, and then I suddenly was reading through the rule book, and it's like this bit's here. I was like, oh, we've been doing that wrong. Ah, crap. Anyway, just carry on. So,
but apparently, Freelancers is excellent.
yes, it's meant to be really good. I'll go there. I probably might just pick it up still there. But yeah, it is released already. So yeah, stick it. Leave it in there.
You're excited about it anyway, so that's cool.
I am.
It's allowed. Yeah, I like the look of it just because it's designed by one of the guys that ran a podcast that I used to listen to a lot.
All right.
Called the series was called Bored with Life.
Oh,
there was a YouTube channel at first,
yes.
but they did real sort of like real play D&D series.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
I would consistently be pissing myself laughing on the walk to work listening to them because it was like the designer Donald Schultz, his wife Nikki, plus Chris Bryan, who was who's another game designer. He designed Lanterns, the dice game, and a couple of others. And yeah, it was. I just really love those guys. They're just really funny and kind of entertaining. So I love the fact that they've designed this D&D game, which I hope, because I've heard the acting of like the Forbidden Waters was good, and Freelancers is supposed to be even better in terms of the in-app kind of acting and stuff. I really hope they voiced some of it themselves because they make me laugh. I just love it.
This is why it's on my list. Is as I was saying, like I played Forgotten Waters, and we done that over lockdown via interweb. It was brilliant because like the whole app's on the internet. No, it's not an app itself. It's just all done on web pages. And it was all voiced, and it was all great. And there was several scenarios. They weren't all interlinked. Well, it was like semi interlinked, but nothing special. You wouldn't miss out on anything. And we actually had a great time with that. And then this is more or less the same thing, but done like on a kind of D&D adventure in a way. So yeah, hopefully you get the same crew together and knock this one out. So, and it says best with 5, so it's 3 to 7 players and best with 5.
Yeah, so it's like a D&D campaign basically, isn't it? You want 4 or 5 players at least to do that, so it makes sense. It's essentially it's a dungeon masterless D&D campaign box game, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So yeah,
cool.
Sounds really good.
Nice one. My number.
It also
6.
says highly replayable. It says 5 highly replayable campaigns. So that'd be interesting to know if it's something you could actually replay. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Maybe there's different paths you could take because you could. There was slight bit of that in Forgotten Waters where like decisions you made or different courses you took happened. So it could be different each time.
Yeah, I'm excited by that too. I'm glad you put it there because I wanted to, but I thought it's already out, so I can't really put it. So I'm glad you put the rules.
I'll do the work for you, Sam. Bring your games back. Put the games on the list. It's fine.
So my number 6 is Ancient Knowledge. This is it's a card game from Remy Mathieu, published by Yellow. I saw this on one of the Dice Tower live plays at some point. And it looked really interesting. It's a card game where you're building your civilization and you're trying to keep the knowledge or pass the knowledge on to future generations. And so you're building out cards into like a tableau, and they start shifting along to the left the more you put out, and you have to kind of store the knowledge take it off the card before it drops off, otherwise you lose that knowledge. And you're just trying to do this to keep your civilization growing, and it sounded just like a really interesting idea.
Kind of gave me like heavyweight Seven Wonders kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's got
that.
To me. It is a 2.71 out of 5 weight on BGG, so it is slightly heavier than an average game. But yeah, it has that, as you say, a kind of a Seven Wonders thematic style feel. But yeah, it looked good. It looked fun when I was watching the Dice Tower playthrough. So looking forward to seeing more about this one.
On my honourable mentions, looks interesting.
My number 6 is Pampero, which I remember seeing a while back was coming out. and I'd sort of forgotten about until I saw it on another list somewhere else. And I thought, oh yeah, I remember seeing about that. And essentially, it's about building wind farms in Uruguay, I think. Yeah, Uruguay. And it's kind of I like an ecological theme anyway, especially if it's done in a kind of cool kind of way. This one looks really nice. It's got the interesting theme of trying to expand wind to all areas of Uruguay. It's just kind of interesting. And I do quite like those. I don't really like the whole thing about train games and stuff and route management and stuff. But I like this kind of version of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I even like things like Power Grid and stuff. But this kind of looks like my kind of thing. It's got that kind of, because it's got the ecological vibe to it. It kind of makes me want to play it just for that. And then it also looks like a decent crunchy Euro kind of route building kind of aspect. Yeah. And it looks really smart. So I think we're going to see more and more of these kind of like ecological, even if they're just subtly ecological themes over the next few years, just because of the state of the world currently. But I like the fact that this is already one of those, and it's got artwork by Ian O'Toole, which looks fantastic. The box art looks really nice and modern and stylish, and the board and everything looks really cool. So yeah, it kind of stands out as one of those that would be like, I don't really do heavy Euros, but this one doesn't. It's kind of right on the edge, I think, of the heaviness that I like and can enjoy. But again, like we talked about with Food Chain Magnate in the previous ep, the artwork can make me get over that, and this one's certainly done that.
Very nice, good choice.
Number 5s. Getting down this list.
Halfway. We're officially halfway.
We are. And
your link doesn't work.
Does it? That's Nick.
The link master is getting to it.
Oh, he's failed.
There you go.
Yeah, one job. One job you had. There it is. Done. Oh, he saved his job. It's fine. Right. So, my number 5 is World of Wonders. This was at Gen Con. And they had massive stacks of it, and they pretty much sold out within a couple of days. So it's got some good hype, and people are after this game. So it looks like this is the next chance of picking it up until it actually comes out on release. So yeah, I just like the look of it. It's tile laying. You got little wonders being built up everywhere. It looks quite family friendly.
Yeah,
in a way.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
It's not that heavy. It's
No.
midweight, just lower than midweight.
There's a
I like the fact
Yeah.
that it's kind of got that 3D-ness with the tile placement aspect. Looks really interesting, and the fact that all the wonders have got their own unique meeples essentially.
Yeah.
So it should be quite dramatic when you kind of built it all up. It should look quite cool on the table.
Lots of pictures of Tom Vassell playing it, always teaching how to play
it's an Arcane Wonders release. And I think it's one of the
yeah, of course. So it'll be the Dice Tower. What should call it?
He gave it like
Essentials.
a 9.
Essentials. That's it. Yeah.
So yeah,
I can see why though. It looks really smart. Yeah, it was one that's already on my list, and again, I was tempted to put it on, but because it officially come out earlier than that, I didn't bother. But it's certainly one that I'd be, if I was going to Essen, I'd want to go and have a look at it for sure.
Yeah, I definitely want to have a look at it when I'm there. So yeah, that is World of Wonders. I've forgotten now. Yeah, World of Wonders. Yeah.
Your number 5.
I've got so many tabs.
So my number
I don't know
5?
where I am.
I know, it's so good. My number 5 is a slight cheat. This is an expansion. So this is Orleans the Plague. I mentioned this a couple of podcasts ago when it was announced. So this is an expansion to the original Orleans game, where there are a few modules they've added in here. So you've got play cards which do various things during the game. You have a different set of events which make things easier or harder than the normal events. You've got some extra buildings you can build, and then you have corpse tokens which go into your bag at certain points that block up your bag with obviously dead people. So if you draw a corpse, I think thematically it kills off one of your workers. But then you can move this plague doctor around to come and kind of clean up your corpse tokens. and there's a whole infirmary section to do that, to move them around. So it just sounds a really interesting little mix-up for things in the Orléans. It doesn't sound as if it's quite as big an expansion as the previous two for Orléans. But I just like the idea of having plague or corpses in your bag that start ruining the stack of your workers. Yeah, so it looks like a fun one. I'd like to have more information on that one.
Made me instantly think of Notre Dame.
Yeah,
the Stefan Feld game with the sort of plague rats.
Indeed.
I really liked the first Stefan Feld game I found I actually liked, which was quite fun. And I think it was the plague element of it that made it fun.
Right, yeah. So that was my number 5, already on the plague.
My number 5 is the White Castle, which is also Joel's possibly number 9.
Yeah.
This is also my kind of number 11, if I was allowed number 11.
So it's a Japanese theme. The White Castle refers to Himeji Castle, which is Japan's oldest kind of surviving castle of ancient times. One that you've seen, if you've seen pictures of Japan, chances are you've seen a picture of this castle. But so that was instantly like, ooh, it's Japanese about the Himeji Castle. But it's also from the guys that made Red Cathedral, and I never played Red Cathedral, but I've heard it was good. And I thought, well, I'll probably pass over Red Cathedral now, but maybe I'd start my journey with them with White Castle. And I'm kind of, now I've looked into it, I think I probably could get into it. It's kind of, again, that medium weight sort of resource management-ish kind of worker placement-y kind of thing, which I always quite like. So I'm going to hope the other guys can talk to me about it a bit more and sell it to me even more.
Yeah, I was surprised this wasn't on Nick's, because he likes Red Cathedral. So I'm surprised it wasn't on your list.
It was just number 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I debated where to put it. I've watched the playthrough that Heavy Cardboard did last month, I think it was. And it looks like a nice it's dice worker placement, so you're taking dice off these bridges and placing them on areas to activate them, and you can stack the dice in some ways to do things, and it's kind of resource conversion. And then you're trying to move up on certain tracks. So yeah, it's all this kind of stuff that I like. I wanted to see more information about it. It would have been higher on my list. I'm wondering if it has enough depth for my liking. But what I've seen so far, it looks like a very nice game from Devere.
So I wonder if there's going to be a series of colourful buildings or something like that. So green bungalow, or
we should have try and predict what the next one is, right? We had Red Cathedral, White Castle.
Castle. That's another C word. Like a colour with a C word.
No, I think next.
So yeah, Roddo's podcast, they were saying they want the Blue Hotel next. So
yeah,
the Blue Hotel. That sounds like a totally different type of game to me.
Right, brain, think how to say this. Kunta Hunter? Kunahora. Yeah. See, my brain's not working properly. Right, so City of Silver. So there's two reasons why this is on here, and it's the same reason why everyone else is putting it on here. This is done by Czech Games Edition. But all the pieces in this are being made by a new, ethical, efficient, resource ethical way of doing it. And it's basically, they've taken like sawdust and scraps of wood, and they basically molded all this leftover product from making previous stuff and molded it into the new components. And I think they called it some word like not wood or new wood or something like that.
Rewood,
that's it.
Rewood, yeah, that's it, yeah.
So all the components are made of this rewood.
Fascinating idea, yeah.
Yeah. So
really
I really hope this takes off and like more companies take this on, because they look no different to the standard cut wood pieces from what I can see.
Apparently they feel they have a look and a feel like plastic, but they are made of wood, which is just amazing.
Yeah.
And if they can mold them as well, Because if this is kind of like sawdust kind of stuff, that
Yeah.
means they could do some more interesting shapes, more intricate shapes. Which would be
Definitely,
really interesting.
maybe.
Get away
Maybe it
from
might be a replacement
plastics.
for plastic figures or things like that.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, the fact that they can reduce their reliance on getting printed, plastic stuff from China,
Yeah.
pretty important. I'm guessing this because it's CGE. I'm
Indeed.
assuming it's possibly come from a Czech factory, potentially the one that they use over there. I can't remember what it's called
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I'd hope it was anyway. Or it's certainly European. It sounds like. So yeah, good. I like that.
Yeah, and also there's meant to be a really good game below it as well. Not just the pieces are cool, but there's actually meant to be a really good game that people are saying, yeah, this is. So it's a historical city building Euro game, 2 to 4 players. It features a real life supply and demand experience. So yeah, I will go along and check it out.
Yeah, it's hard to tell exactly what is going on in the game, but
No,
the artwork on the little tiles looks really pretty.
Yeah, I didn't get
The
talking about
box
it
cover is
beforehand.
very
and-
ambiguous as to what the game's about, but yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about it a little bit. Me and
Oh,
Nick were
God,
talking
so-
about while we were waiting to start recording, and I saw it at the expo and was just like, I don't really get what this is trying to do, and it felt very dark and maybe a bit prototypey at the time. So the artwork that I'm starting to see now, the photos that they got there, is quite a bit different to what I remember seeing at the expo. So I'd certainly give it a second look now than when I dismissed it pretty much beforehand.
Definitely. So yes.
Yeah,
I'm not saying the name again. We can move along.
City of Silver from CGE.
There you
That's
go.
it.
Just look up CGE, you'll find it. My number 4 is higher up on someone else's list, so I'll leave that until then.
And mine, number 4, is Redwood. This nearly didn't make it on the list because I thought it had already come out, but when I looked on board game prices, it was all up for pre-order, so I'm assuming it's actually out for the first time properly in Essen. And Redwood is a game about wildlife photography. I'm pretty sure we've talked about it in the show at some point before.
Yeah, we've done once before.
Yeah, but the thing that I remember when I first saw it, I was interested in the theme anyway because I'm an amateur photographer. I love doing photography anyway. Not that I've done it for years, but I love doing it. But I also liked in terms of the theme and the mechanics of this game. It takes that the line of sight kind of mechanic that you get from games I don't like playing and put it into a game that I think I will like playing. So in this case, your line of sight mechanic is kind of saying what you can take pictures of within the frame of the board.
Yeah.
So your photographer is going to move around this board, so you will see different things from different angles depending on where you are. And I just think that's really an interesting mechanic for the game. So these tokens will go out on the board, so, like a beaver token or whatever will go out on the board, but the tree might be blocking your view of that beaver, so you need to get to a different spot to be able to take that shot and that sort of stuff. It just sounds like a really interesting kind of new type of mechanic in a game. Plus,
pretty
thematically, I love the
line
idea
of
of it,
sight
and
really
the artwork looks amazing. So, 3 things together
stunning
that make me
artwork.
really intrigued.
Yeah. Yep. A fine choice there. Good stuff.
So my number 3, it was Asprey, the Space B game from April. Oh my goodness, my brain. Right, April.
Yeah, well.
Sorry. From Stonemaier Games, but I don't think I'm going to pick it up from Essen because I think I get it cheaper from actually purchasing it from Stonemaier. So I've swapped it out. We've talked about it anyway. So I swapped it out for Zoo Tycoon, the board game. I believe you can purchase this at Essen. It does has a price of €89, so it's possibly the most expensive one on my list. And I might go over there and regret not backing it on Kickstarter, but that will be seen when I go. So it's based on the video game, and it looks really cool. The components look really cool. It's got quite a heavy weight rating on Board Game Geek. So 3.89, I think I saw. So
Gone down a
yeah.
bit, 3.87.
Oh.
2 to 3 hours, so it's got a good long playtime on it as well.
Yeah, see, that might be another thing that might put me off. So I will go and check it out. Why it's
Components wise, again, it looks amazing. Though you've got all these cool meeples, and the artwork's nice. All the different animals have got artwork that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, all the different tiles have got different artwork.
A lot of tracks.
Nice.
Lots of tracks.
And it's got a red panda.
Yes,
I love a red panda.
Can't go wrong.
And a card that says Panda Diplomacy. I want to know what Panda Diplomacy is.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, you got to get it now.
It's got lots of little meeples for every animal as well. It's like, or not every. I don't think it's every animal, but
there's a whole bunch of them. Yeah, you can see why it's expensive. To be fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go on the Kickstarter and find out what I'm missing out on.
Yeah.
Regret every decision I made in life.
Dangerous.
Welcome to my world. Backing all the stuff you shouldn't.
Yeah, not backing the stuff you should.
Yeah.
It's like, I wish I backed this instead of that crap. Anyway.
My number 3 is Civolution by Stefan Feld. We mentioned this a couple of podcasts ago. This is the new Stefan Feld. The basic idea of this is that you are all playing local deities who are trying to craft your own civilization in this deity exam, the Technical Academy of Creation, trying to show that you are the best at developing a culture and with evolutional adaptations. And at the end of 4 eras, then you get examined on how well you did. The most points wins. It sounds like classic Stefan Feld Euro style stuff, but with a very interesting thing. It's quite fun. So
it's only demo at the show, so
only for demo. There's very little information on Board Game Geek about it, so I look forward to finding out more information about it.
I will pop along and have a look at it when I'm there.
That'd be cool. Let's see what it is.
My number 3 was already talked about by Nick because he didn't notice it.
Yeah, I didn't notice it on the list. Ancient knowledge. There you go.
Mine is ancient knowledge, but yeah, for the same reasons that Nick said, it just looks. And it's a yellow game, which yellow generally make really good quality stuff, and it gives me that kind of slightly heavier sort of tableau building. It sort of adds it's 7 Wonders with added on stuff. I thought it looked like to me. So yeah, I was interested in that, and I like the whole 7 Wonders. Or 7 Wonders, but that kind of ancient wonders and ancient world stuff. So yeah. It's almost like a civilization game, but without having to do the minutiae of a civilization game, which I like.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, very good.
Number 2's. Get in there, guys. Get in there. My number 2 is also on Nick's list at number 4.
My number 4.
Yeah. So evacuation. We talked about this on the podcast a few back.
Yep. Vladimir Succi.
Yes, I really like the idea of this concept where you've already got your economy running and things being produced, but you've got to tear it down and you've got to move it from one planet to the next planet and get it up and running. I just love that idea. The only issue for me is it's only up to 4 players, so it won't play with the group that I play with. So yeah, that's the only downside, but it looks great. It looks fun, and I just love the idea of the mechanics.
Yep, same here. That's exactly the same. It's the whole concept of having to deconstruct your engine to move it to another planet whilst still having it running enough to fund the spaceships to move them to another planet and then get everything on the new planet and set them all up, start them going. It just sounds great. Sounds very crunchy, classic Succi style. And I have no problem playing with up to 4 players, so I'm quite happy. It plays 1 to 4 as well, so it plays solo as well.
Yeah, so you're sorted, Nick.
Well, I'm sorted. I just play it on my own.
From a weight point of view, it looks kind of similar sounding to like Underwater Cities level as well, which is kind of like the perfect kind of weight for me. So anything more than that, I kind of get a bit itchy. But this one, yeah, I think that's Vladimir Suchi's kind of like he hovers around that playable weight for me. Sometimes tips over a little bit too much, but generally he's around the right sort of spot. And it to the point where it's like Underwater Seas I expected to not like, but I really enjoyed it as it turned out, and I've got a feeling it'd be the same for this. I'm looking at it going, it looks kind of cool. I like the idea of it, but I'm pretty sure if I sat down and played it, I'd be like, actually, that's quite clever. I like it. So yeah,
yeah, very nice. My number 2 is The Rich and the Good, which was originally in German Haben Gut. This is a pure stock market manipulation game, so Sam, you will hate this.
Yeah.
You can probably see it already. So this is a game where every player has about 40% of the information about what stocks are good and what stocks are bad that they are sharing with a neighbor. And you are buying and selling shares, playing cards to adjust the stock price and going around, I think it's 3 rounds you do it in, and you're just trying to make the most money out of the stocks that you play. Very, very pure, very simple mechanically, but it sounds fascinating to me. I watched the playthrough that Heavy Cardboard did, and it looked a lot of fun. It's got artwork by Michael Menzel in this edition, so it also looks very nice. And yeah, I like that style of very streamlined stock market type stuff. It doesn't go into too much complexity. It's just simple. You can see what you've got, and you're just wagering on how much you think other people are going to push things. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But not Sam's cup of tea.
No. Hence the reason I'm not saying anything. Or I'm trying to get it into my head how to pronounce the name of my number 2, which is Nana Toridori.
That was Joel's job.
Yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, go for it, Joel.
We've given Joel.
I won't make you. It's a Japanese game called Nana Toridori, which is card shedding. Sort of not trick taking, but it's the card shedding variety that people often call trick taking, right? You're playing cards to try and empty your hand, so much the same as the Kabanga game that I talked about earlier on. And it's kind of got that. This one's got like a birds and eggs kind of theme. Don't ask me. I don't think the theme matters in this kind of game at all, but it just looks quite funky. So all the different cards are different birds essentially. So 7s are eagles and 4s are flamingos and that kind of stuff. For some reason, the 1s look like a robin with a top hat. So Japan, you do. But yeah, I like the idea of. I like the sort of card shedding style games, and the thing that I wouldn't say this is a particularly revolutionary game, but the one thing I loved when I went to Essen and would go to Essen for, and if I was at Essen this year, I would instantly go to, is the Japan brand stand and that type of stand. I think there's several of them now, but when I went, Japan brand was the only place you could go. All the Japanese publishers basically signed up to the Japan brand stand essentially to sell their games, so you'd only have a limited number of stuff, and I suspect this might well be one of those as well. So Joel, please go to Japan brand first to go and get this, because this is number 1 on my list pretty much. I think it'll probably be at the same place as Nakosu Dice as well, I think anyway, but this one is definitely up there because it plays up to 6, cute artwork. It's a card shedding game, so it's that perfect end of night or start of night kind of palette cleanser kind of game to get you going. But yeah, it's not so much the game that's exciting; it's the kind of the rush of trying to get it before it sells out because they've only got 10 copies from Japan, kind of thing. Yeah,
looks fun.
Yeah. So I just getting my ass kicked again in Art Nova by someone. Always wins. I keep playing this. If he listens to the show, let's just tack something like that. He listens to the show, but he just seems to do phenomenally well on Arc Nova every game. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, what are we on to? What are we doing, guys? What are we doing here? Oh no, we're doing the Games of Essen. That's right. Fine, forgot about that. So number 1. My number one actually got mentioned in the last podcast because it's just hit alpha on Board Game Arena. It's not to Sam's liking because it's cooperative, and it's also 2-player only. It is Sky Team, so this is really taken my fancy. Because now my wife actually plays a lot more board games than we used to, which is quite fun. So I thought this would be pretty good to have. We're getting into co-ops. We're quite enjoying them, and it actually looks pretty good for a little game. It's got little miniature planes that you're trying to land. It's got dice, things like that, and yeah, it's getting a lot of buzz as well from lots of people.
Yeah. What I like. What I find the funniest about this is that you're not allowed to communicate.
Yeah.
During the real time phase, and so there's such a thematic disconnect of the pilot and co-pilot not talking to each other whilst trying to land a plane. I think it's hilarious. It really makes me laugh. But it does sound really interesting. I watched Rado try to run through this with Raoul on video stream, which was a bit crazy. But yeah, looks like a really interesting, clever co-op game for 2 players.
Yeah, definitely going to run along and pick this up when I'm there.
Excellent. Now, my number one was already mentioned because we didn't notice the copy by Joel's number 10, which is Forest Shuffle. We've mentioned plenty about this, so I don't need to go on more. But yeah, that's top of my list. Already pre-ordered. Great fun. Really like it.
And finally, my number one and Nick's number 7 is The Fox Experiment from Pandasaurus, which is the new Elizabeth Hargrave game. And we've talked about it on a couple of pods before. Played it at the UK Games Expo. Absolutely loved it. Was hoping that at Essen they would have the Kickstarter version for sale or like an upgrade pack or something, because annoyingly the little bits that you get as part of the Kickstarter I think would make the difference a little bit in terms of table presence. I suspect the retail one will be perfectly fine, though, to be fair. And I know that if I'm not going to make Joel come back with a copy, unless he does happen to find the Kickstarter version, of course. But if I was there, I know I wouldn't be able to hold back, and I would just get myself a copy because I was there. But yeah, it's just a fantastic game. I definitely want to play it again. Whether it's a sticker around her or not, I don't know. But I just love the whole concept of you start breeding the foxes, and the foxes that you breed, the traits that you select or to put into to breed into the foxes, the cubs, they become the new breeding options for the next round. So you start kind of building on the generations that came before. It's just such a clever idea. But the way that it meshes in with the theme, the mechanics mesh into the theme so well, and that is something that it seems to me like Elizabeth Hargrave manages to do nearly every single time. She does this thing where she boils down the essence of what the theme is to a mechanic that makes sense, and it works beautifully in this one. So yeah, nothing. I can't wait to try it again. And if I was there, I know I'd be coming back with a copy, because regardless whether it's retail or not, I know I couldn't resist, basically.
And that's one of the reasons it's not higher on my list, is that I just haven't tried it. But I'm very excited because I think the thematic connection is just brilliant. It's just such a fascinating. The fact this was a real thing as well, that they tried to domesticate foxes.
Yeah, it's an ongoing experiment. I think it's still running now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's great stuff.
There we are. So that's the games we're looking forward to, and I'm being told where to go and get certain games.
I'm putting the whole references in on our list now so that Joel can't forget it.
So I fuck up and go there. Come back empty-handed. Sam's like, and where's my stuff? No, I put it on. So Tabletop Together is actually pretty good because you list all the games you want to go to, and then you print it out, and actually can print out by hall and stand. So it will map it out for you. So that's why I'm filling it out there. So I'm just checking these are on my list to go do. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I thought it was in jeopardy when I crashed my car, but Yes.
You didn't crash. Correction. You did not crash your car.
Still
It was crashed.
Yeah, we had a meeting of 2 vehicles, so no, we got a nice new car to drive there with. So now even the wife is looking forward to the journey. But so yeah, hopefully I can get this out before Essen actually happens. It's only a week and 2 days away.
Exciting.
Very scary place.
It is exciting to go back to. So yes, cool. Thank you guys for doing that. I hope you lot enjoyed this listing. I hope this brought some attention to games that you might not have heard about. And yeah, again, comments in any of the social media sites of what you're looking forward to at Essen coming up this year, or point out any games that we might have missed out. Possibly, if I have time, I might do another list because I've got a huge long list of games, and I'll put that on the website of honourable mention games. That is also there. So yeah, thanks for doing this, guys. I will let you now all go to bed.
That'd be good.
Because it's late.
Yeah, Mrs. came in very grumpy just now. I had to mute you quickly because she came in and she looked very grumpy that I was still recording. So I'm off.
Yeah.
Just one thought actually with sorry, carry on.
No, carry on.
I was going to say is like one thing we could do if you were willing would be to have an Essen thread on our Discord that people could join, and you could post up photos and stuff as you're going around the halls.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, I can do that.
Mainly because I want to see it. I don't. If anyone else wanted to, then that's great. But I'd be following it avidly.
Right. Yeah. So we can do that. The Instagram, I'll probably post on Instagram actually, because X is a bit weird, and they're now going to start charging. So apparently. So yeah, I'll try and put pictures up, put some videos up. I might even tempt the wife on to give her thoughts of her first visit to Essen. And yeah.
Cool. Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you lot later.
Cheerio.
Cheers.